Hey everyone, it's the real BeanJr here. I promised for you guys that I would create a video to show you how to port forward your new DWC server out to the internet so that it's accessible by other people in other parts of the world possibly. Um, but sometimes that's not always the case depending on what kind of a router that the other person has. For example, a friend of mine can't even access my web server over port 80 for whatever reason, and some people couldn't even connect to my DWC server in some countries. So there are some limitations on who can access what, and I guess it's all filled out at the ISP level. But anyways, getting back to the point of this whole video, I'm going to show you guys what port specifically you need to open. I'm not actually going to show you how to do port forwarding. That's your job to figure that out because every router is different. However, if you are lucky as me and you have an ASUS router, which is an RTN 56U or something similar to that or whatever, then you could follow right along because, it's very easy to follow along with. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my router here and show you guys how to do this. I actually did this last video, which explains why at the end you kind of saw this little screen right here. I originally did this in the last video, but it just got too long, and so I cut that whole part out. And I thought I'd save the port forwarding for this video, just so I don't bore you guys to death last video, like I already would have by the end of the server install. Speaking in which, the server has recently received a few updates, so or the server source code, more accurately, has received some updates. Error code 61020 has been added to the ban system, where it will tell the user if the login has failed immediately instead of waiting for 61070 to kick in, which will take a good minute and a half to do. And we've also cleaned up the admin page a little bit and did a few other things. So please, guys, just keep an eye on those links. Make sure that you're not missing any updates. And if you are missing updates, make sure you get on them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the whole port forwarding thing. So if you're on an ASUS router, you want to go to the WAN page. And once you're on the WAN page, you want to go to virtual server / port forwarding. And I'm gonna zoom in here just so that you guys can easily see what needs to be forwarded to your computer and what needs to be forwarded to your Wii and whatnot. Never mind a bunch of this stuff that I have here because there's some SSH stuff that I have forwarded and a few other things. So one of the things you want to forward if you want to have access to your admin page is port 9009. This will go to your server's IP address. So mine is 192.168.101.63. That's the direct address that my server uses on a LAN connection. The .64 was actually my Raspberry Pi 2, which you guys can see up here for SSH. And you also want to open the following ports for your server: 2007 or 27500. You also want to open up port 29900, 29901, 29920, 27900, and 28910, 27901, 9000, 9002, 8000, 9001. You also want to open port 53, and you want to open port 80 for your web server. Port 81 is obviously my own personal preference because if you go to port 81 on my server, it will take you to a website which is hosted on my Windows Server computer, which hosts like a forum and downloads and stuff like that, so you don't need to worry about that. However, what you need to do is worry about the matchmaking fix, supports 1 through 65535 UDP. In case you guys are interested, the protocol that I have for these ports for the server for the GameSpy stuff is set to both. So it uses both TCP and UDP to be on the safe side. That's what I have it set to. I don't know exactly what protocols they use, but hey. Anyways, one quick and easy way you can actually open all the ports at once on your server is to go into the DMZ. And once you're in the DMZ, what this will do is it will open up all the ports, every single port 1 through 65535 on both TCP and UDP. And it will open those ports and it will allow anyone access to any of those ports, which is not very safe, by the way, if you have other stuff going on. Or if you happen to have any, security concerns about people hacking into your server, DMZ is definitely not for you. However, if you don't care at all about who accesses what ports, then you can just throw your server's IP address into the DMZ. Make sure it is static, by the way. Please, guys, before you port forward, make sure it is static. Again, guys, look up on Google how to make your Linux box a static IP, and you also want to make a DHCP reservation on your router just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that basically covers port forwarding for your DWC server. So if you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below.